Guys, welcome. Thank you for joining the Zoom. If you didn't make it, you're missing out the live question portion of it. We got 20 plus individuals here. We have guests, Michael Camus. We have Jennifer Abreu back there as well with New Title. Michael Camus for Patriot Lending. David as well. And the main man, Miguel, what was your old appraisal company? Or not your old, your current appraisal company that you don't use called?
Multi-group appraisals.
We got multi-group appraisals in the house. Investor, top producer, good friend, partner. Miguel, go ahead and lead the way.
All right. Who has an address that needs that I can help you guys with? I know all of you in real estate. Y'all better have a fucking address.
You guys can type it in the chat or unmute yourself, but let's
Nobody has an address?
No, I have an address for you because Mark has an open house. He's been having it, trying to move it. Ask Jennifer Brave for the thing, and I'm gonna let him know we were talking about him now. Jen, give him the open house for Mark. Mark, put it in the chat. Use this address, Miguel. It is right now. It is.
Bro, I'm just gonna use one of my listing addresses.
I have a for sale by owner.
Okay, what's the address?
It's 333
3333
Linwood Drive. But
Linwood.
It's not on the MLS, so.
It doesn't matter. Linwood Drive. That's in Miami Springs, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
And after Laurent put one as well in the chat, so you can see it in the bottom.
All right. Okay, so I always try to have like the screen open where I have two sources. You gotta have two sources. I use IMAP and I use the MLS, so that way I can get an idea of what's going on, public record sale wise and the MLS sales. You gotta have two sales because at the end of the day, if the appraiser cannot verify multiple sources, it's not a good comp unless there's a verified HUD, and that's typically only for new constructions. All right, 333 Linwood Drive. So I'm putting this in on the, let me share that. Why is it showing this screen? All right, I'm doing it on IMAP and then I'm gonna do it on the MLS. So I'm searching the comps on IMAP first. You can either use IMAP or miamidade.gov. You have multiple sources.
Can you show us the IMAP screen? I don't see it.
You're on the matrix, right, Miguel?
I'm on the matrix, but I have the two.
Do all of the work on the screen that's on the matrix.
I can't.
On that browser, like where it says use the tab post attendee, the IMAP. If whatever you do on that browser, we're seeing. So right now we're seeing the matrix screen. Use those 4 tabs. When you click those tabs, what tab are you on right now?
I don't know why is it doing this. Hold on. I went to the home screen and it didn't go to the home screen.
Hit share again and just share your whole desktop, like so it sees everything you do.
Hold on. Wait up.
Yeah, we're seeing your mouse now on Matrix, I believe.
On what?
On the Matrix. Are you on the Matrix screen?
Hold on, man. Let me see this real quick. What do you guys are seeing the
The Matrix. That Google Chrome that you have Matrix open, make sure you don't have any other Chromes open.
I have to have other Chromes open.
No, the tabs, not like whole bro, Miguel's like the computer newbie. But
brother, that's why I told you to be here, man.
I know, but you told me you were gonna come to Brickell.
All right, okay, I got it already. I know how to do it. Are you guys seeing the desktop too, the IMAP now?
No, we're just seeing your browser.
Their screen.
There we go. Now we're seeing IMAP.
All right. Okay, I think I got it.
There we go. Now we're seeing it.
What, 333 Linwood Drive, she said? Linwood Drive.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so the problem is that you got to click on several screens.
No, we're seeing Google Maps right now. So stay on that Chrome. Anything you open in those tabs, we can see.
Okay, perfect. All right, so always have an idea so you can see the house. You can come here easily, you drop the guy right here in front of the property, and now you're going to be able to see the property. Google Maps is going to allow you to zoom in. So right here, we're in front of the property. Laura, does it look like this still? Or is it fixed up?
No, they fixed it up.
All right, let me see. So what we'll do is, can you see the screen too?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what it looks like, Laura.
It's Brittany. It's Brittany. Imagine she hasn't shown up in some time, and she's back.
All right.
No, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay.
So where'd you go to see that?
Zillow.
Zillow. Okay.
Okay. So now we'll go back, and you just hit the find comps. You're not gonna get anything. So let's see if they added any square footage here on Zillow. They got 2,000 square feet, 4.3, completely remodeled. So you're gonna go back to IMAP. Sometimes you can do up to 20% and stay within half a mile. But basically the most you can go is 25%. All right, so you see I have comps here in Zillow, in IMAP. Now I'm gonna open up the matrix. Okay, so here on the IMAP, on the matrix, there's a jump to address. You could jump to the address quick. You don't have to put in drive or any of that. You don't have to put in any of that information. So here you can check. There's one on Linwood that's listed for 539. It's about 700 square feet more than yours. The pictures, the outside looks similar. Where they've remodeled. It's got a detached garage and a swimming pool. The inside is not as updated. So if you go back to Zillow, you always want to have multiple, so that way you can get an idea going back and forth from house to house and see what the pros and the cons of each property, because that's going to make a value difference. Okay, you'll determine which one is upgraded versus which one is in average condition. So the appraisers go by what is called a C scale. They'll say C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. C5 basically is a tear down. C4 is in need of updating.
It fits.
C3 is updated. C2 is completely remodeled. I'm not brand new construction. So let me show you. Hold on here. So this is the comp. This one here is basically like between a C3 to a C4, more or less, because they didn't upgrade the tile. And you go to the one on Linwood, and this is basically I want to say a C3. So you're comparing a C4 to a C3. This one's listed for $539, and you'll see that if you come here to where the MLS is at and you hover over the property, you click on it, you'll see sometimes it says $2,790. If you actually click into the link of the listing, you'll see 2,000 square feet. So it's actually.
And anybody here? Can you hear me, George?
Yeah, we can hear you. Mute yourself.
Anyone, Miguel? Anybody? Because I can't hear anybody. Hold on.
Okay, so
I can't hear people. There you go.
Go ahead, Miguel. Go ahead.
okay, did he mute himself or no? Okay.
Yeah, he's muted. He's muted. Go.
All right. So I always go back to the map so I can see what's closest. So we have another one here on Linwood that closes C2. So this one on Linwood is about 2,100 square feet, sold for 507. And then let's take a look at it.
Show people why you're doing that. Like, as you're going through it, talk while you're going through the
So
picture.
I'm looking through the picture so I can compare my C3 to see which one is C3. So this looks like it's a good comparable to mine. You've got the granite kitchen, just like mine. The flooring's the same. They've got, so you go back to Linwood and you'll see, look at the flooring on it. It's the same. Similar tile. You see, that's called like a ceramic, maybe porcelain, but it looks like a ceramic tile. That's probably an older tile, not the new modern tile, the porcelain that they use, or the wood-looking tile. You see, this is the same type of porcelain tile. They did upgrade the kitchen, so that's why I'm considering it a C3, and the houses are well-maintained. Different opinions, different appraisers have different opinions, so they could say, oh, a C3 is a C4 and a C4 is a C3. That's kind of like a grayscale right now. I've been seeing a lot of appraisers say, oh, this house is a C3, and it actually looks like a C4. But that'll, increase the value. So this is a good comp. This comp right here is your one of your solid comps, and it's sold cash. Sold cash and was on the market for 130 days. With no contribution. So you go back to the map, you have one comp here, you select this comp, and after you're done selecting your comps, so you always, let's say you zoom out to a certain, and you're in an area that you don't have as many sales as you have here. So you're gonna grab this little draw radius, and you're gonna hover over your property, and you're gonna go out. I wanna say start off at like 0.3 of a mile, and then you would expand. I do that first so I can get an idea of what's immediately around me. I already have one at 500 immediately around me. I've got two listings at about 529 and 539. And let's go out a little bit more. In the Miami Springs area, Brittany, I'm sure you're aware. I think we talked this weekend, but the Miami Springs area has two areas. You have the Bird side, and then you have the Virginia Gardens area, and then you have the other side. So you can stay. I've seen appraisers use comps within Miami Springs, outside of a mile. Here you don't have to go outside of a mile, but just, you see how this circle's going into Virginia Gardens? You see down here Virginia Gardens in that lower, the bottom of the screen? That's not a comparable area for Miami Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to get a bigger circular area for, so you have your first comp is your comp one, which is the one that sold for 503. I go to this, I sort by sales prices, so I could already know more or less, because I already got the number one comp. I'm just trying to find three or four more comps to support the value. That's just basically it. You have another one that sold on Glendale for 569, which is when you pulled up, I don't know if you remember, when you pulled up on IMAP, it came out right here, 57 Glendale Drive. Let's take a look at that one. So Glendale Drive is completely remodeled, brand new windows. So this is more like a C2. This is a lot better condition than the other two comps and the listings that are on Linwood. So this one sold for 569, 2,300 square feet, doesn't have a pool, but this adjustment to this property is probably close to a $50,000 adjustment, just in windows and the amount of updating that they did. It probably will take a builder or a contractor a lot more to do this in cost, but the adjustments should stay within a 10% range on the appraiser's appraisal when they provide it to the lender. The reason why is because they have a 10-15-25 guideline. I'm not sure the guidelines now. I do know there's still the guidelines, but typically the line adjustment should be about 10%. So if you do 50, maybe 55,000, you're back down to like the 515 area. So I definitely think Linwood should be somewhere around 510. That's the number.
Okay, that's what they're asking.
Yeah, that's the number. That's
Okay.
the number. I mean, on the MLS, in this case, when an owner lists a property like that for sale by owner, give him the pros and the cons for listing it with you, the values around there. You can, their biggest concern is always the commission. They're only going to want to pay, maybe 3%. So that's a conversation you have to have with the owner.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. George, what's the other address?
Laurent put an address. It's a Pembroke Pines address, so put Broward. And guys, when you go in the IMAP and you're gonna do Broward County, make sure you click Broward. You could do all of Florida with IMAP, so you guys know.
Yeah, you can do. I've done here. So you've got Broward County, you've got Brevard, you've got Dade County, you've got Duval, you've got everything here. Lee County, if you want to go to Port St. Lehigh, and you've got everything. You've got Palm Beach County, St. Lucie County. I've sold the properties in St. Lucie and Palm Beach and gotten comps from here. The thing is that when you do this, so try to have two multiple sources. Like I said, try to use Zillow or the Flex, the MLS Flex, because the matrix won't let you expand past Palm Beach. I believe, is that right, George?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's Broward County. Hold on. What's the address?
15697.
15697.
Northwest 12th Place.
Northwest 12th Place.
Another beautiful day in paradise.
Yeah.
Okay, so here once again, you're gonna go to this one's on the lake. So we're gonna go to the Google Maps again. Sometimes in gated communities, it's not gonna let you do it because they don't allow the guy from the city to go in with the car and take the street pictures. So you see, if you drag the little guy and you can't drop it, you could just do the satellite view. And the satellite view, you can see typically you can see everything. So you see this one is a 2-story. You've got the backyard. And in Broward County and Dade County, I also go to the county website. But on here with IMAP, you could go directly to the county tax website. I mean, also to the bcpa.net. Let's see, building sketch. So you'll see here, it's going to go to building sketch and hover over it. Usually if Miami-Dade has been improving itself and putting in the building sketch, Broward County always has the building sketch. Click on it so you can go to the building sketch and you can get an idea. You'll see here where it says 2585 and then 3289. It's typically including the 2-car garage or 3-car garage. So this property is a 3289, okay, square footage. And then you'll see in Broward County, a lot of realtors on the MLS, they'll use the higher square footage. We do that all the time because it's a selling point. So you have to verify that because appraisers are consistent. Now, this is not to say that an appraiser is not going to use 3289. Typically in a neighborhood like this where all the homes are, you've got 2-story homes and 1-story homes, but they're all typically the same model. So they're going to use the same square footage as long as they're the same model home. So we'll come here, find comps. Once again, go up to living area 20% and you update criteria. You got 3 sales. You got 351, 465, and 453. Now we go back to the matrix. Let's go to criteria. You go to the map. You can delete the map area that you did right here, clearing all shapes. So this is you're off the I-75 and Sheridan in Towngate. So you're gonna go and you're right here. So we're at 12th place. And we're this corner lot. So we're on 12th place. We're right here. So that's water. Is that water? Yeah. So this is a lake. So you want to get comps with a lake. Okay, so you have a listing here, 4.3, 2428 square footage with the same lake view. The lot size is about 9,153 square feet. It's going to give you the lot size here. Your lot size is 12,000. So you've got pretty big lot size. I'm gonna come here. So this is an active listing at 446. Let's see here. So let's see what else we got here. All right. So let's draw the map going out. So we don't want to go that far beyond the, beyond. Okay. So all right. So I'm going to go to results. And then here in criteria, you could also go to select where it's waterfront as well. So you can come here and you'll put waterfront, yes. So now it's gonna put your results down to 17. So we go to results and we've got 4. We've got 3 comp, 465. We have a comp that's 465. So this is a comp that's sold for 465, 2-story home. This, I would say, is somewhere between a C3 and a C4 condition because they did some updating to the flooring, the laminate wood flooring. The kitchen looks like it's been updated. And this one sold. This one has a lake view as well. Yeah. And you've got a 8,700 square foot lot. So you've got an oversized lot in the subject property. This one sold for 465, 16 days on market, conventional. Looks like they gave $500 back. So when I go back to look at the days on market, it's for pricing wise to be how aggressive she priced this, the realtor prices, and compare, because if you're looking to list for price to list, then you would you definitely want to look at that. You want to look at the days on market on all your comp sales. If you want to list a property and have it on the market for less than a month with a contract, you want to be aggressively on pricing. She priced it at $489 and had it under contract within 16 days.
Guys, any specific questions? We're gonna do one more comp to keep these trainings pretty quick. But any specific questions for Miguel, like on appraisals or like on comparables or what you look for? Like he's going through it, but if there's any questions aside from a property that we're gonna go through another 1 or 2, any specific questions, please put it in the chat. Something that I always like to tell Miguel, Miguel does a lot of investment properties. What are things that people should be cautious of? Like, for example, you should always worry in comps what view it's facing. Like, a view of the ocean compared to the view of the parking lot could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
external obsolescence.
That's why
Talk
I'm
about
using the map.
schools, Miguel, churches, all that stuff. Talk about things like that.
That's why I'm using the map. So you got to go to the map, 2 maps. You have to go to the map on the comps, and you have to go to the map on Google Maps. The reason why I say this is because Silver Palms Elementary School right here is not going to give you an adverse factor unless you're one of these houses right here. But even then, typically comparing this community, all of it is basically not going to have an adverse factor unless you're backing a highway. What George is talking about is an adverse factor, maybe a highway, a railway, a school, all this stuff just like directly behind your property. That's why it's important. That's why I pull the Google map, and then when I go to search on the matrix, I do everything by the map. It'll drop you on the property. You're going to see what's right there. You're going to have a clear vision of where your property is located, because when you go to real estate school and when you get your license, whether you're an appraiser, mortgage lender, whatever, the number one thing they talk to you about is location, right? Maybe mortgage school differently because it's numbers and stuff, but real estate sales and appraisals, it's location.
Mike, what do you, let me unmute you. Hold on. I'm going to unmute you. What do you look for when you're looking for a loan? What's important, like on comparable? How do you get your appraisal?
You guys talking to me?
Yeah.
You talking to
hold
me?
on. Hey, why don't you let David jump in here, because he's been paying attention as I see him there diligently staring at the screen, because I've been doing 900 other things.
David, unmute yourself and you could
Yeah, stop hiding there, David. Come on, step up. Come on, David, you can do this.
What was the question again, George? I'm sorry.
What do lenders look at? We're looking now as like for a listing price or making an offer. What do lenders also look for? Is there anything that the agent should be looking for when they're submitting or sending a client for you to approve for mortgage? Is there any things that they should be aware of? Better said.
Now I'm gonna jump back in because now I understand the question. So Miguel, or George, are you asking with regards to comps, distances?
What do lenders need on property? Miguel's talking about property value on what the comparables in the area. What else? FHA or conventional? What else do you need on top of this? ACs needed for FHA, things like that, like little tips.
Right. So there's definitely different sectors and different financing and different tolerances. For example, if it's an FHA loan, obviously it's got to be livable. There's certain FHA health and safety requirements that have to be there. The heating has to be there, things like that. Yet there are other investment loans that we do as well that you can get away with if you're, let's say, doing a flip yourself, Miguel, and you can get away with not having certain things done. There is a tolerance percentage that's allowed of the appraised value. We look at comps, definitely look at comps, distances to the comps. I can use a very good example that I've seen or that I saw recently, which is, I hope everybody here knows what a fixed bridge means. In a neighborhood that has fixed bridges and doesn't have fixed bridges, comps on one side of a fixed bridge and comps on the other are completely different, even though they're 3 blocks away. Little things like that you just must pay attention to. Crossing over US 1. We all know that crossing over US 1 makes a substantial difference, even though it's only 3 blocks away. And, underwriters are going to pay attention to that. Things like that, where you could probably increase the value of a home by jumping over US 1 and 57th Avenue. You could probably increase the value of your subject property quite highly, but the reality of it is it's not going to get past underwriting. Same thing, that the fixed bridge is a big thing in neighborhoods that have bridges and boats in the back. Neighborhood differences, US 1 from one side to the other. Everybody should know where Coral Gables is, and crossing over 57th Avenue and using a comp from one side to push value on the other. Just those kind of things are what we're really going to look for to be sure there's a true valuation being done on the property. Time on market. I know that doesn't really sound relevant, but time on market is something we've been looking at a lot lately. specifically from the investment side. If properties in a marketplace are taking 300 days, those are things that if I was an agent and I was trying to, A, doing flips, or B, I was trying to guide an investor to buy a property, I would absolutely look in days on market because it's very relevant.
All right.
Yeah, he's right. Also, guys, if you're doing condominiums, try to stay like within the same kind of within a 10-floor range and the same view, or maybe the same line as well, because things change, views change, so that also affects the value as well. If you're gonna go sell a property, and let's say at the Latitude, and you're on the 03 line, you can't compare the 23, the other side of the building view, to the one that's facing the river. There's a value difference there as well, and you can determine that by looking for the prior sales, even going back 2 years to see what the difference in sales were. It's all here on the MLS. You'll go back and you look at every sale in the Latitude within the last 2 years, and you'll learn what the difference in view was, whether it was 10,000, whether it was 5,000. That's the difference. For Laurent's property here, I'm thinking this property here is somewhere in the $470,000 range, give or take. I know it says here 505, the projected sales price, and you'll see this. There is no comp at 500 right now. It's actually, they do this based on the value ratio of the square footage, price per square foot, and range. So sometimes don't guide yourself, and this is where your professional and skills come into place when you're gonna go talk to an owner about a listing or comps. If you're gonna rebuttal them, you can't guide yourself by what they're saying here on this, only on the projected sales price. You have to go by closed sales within the last 90 days to 120 days. Why? Because if you're doing a conventional loan or you're doing FHA, there's guidelines to that. They're going to ask for a certain amount of time for these comps to be seasoned. That's why I do look at the days on market. You see, that's why I looked at the first thing I came down was days on market for this one was 16. She listed on October 31st, 16 days later, had it under contract, closed it December 7th, conventional loan. Yes, there was a seller contribution, but typically that's when you price it well, that's typically what a property should last on a market, especially in a buyer's market now that's shifting to. So I think this one, you're about 475 is to play, to sales price, and listing it around what she did, around 490, maybe a little bit higher because you have an oversized lot. But what that's going to also do is draw multiple offers to you. They're going to see an oversized lot here, and depending on the condition of the property inside, you're typically going to be close to in the 490 to 480, possibly selling around 475, 480.
Miguel, there was a question in the chat. Does smoke smell affect property value?
Of course. Yes, it does. It's not that it affects the value. It affects the appeal. So all these things, design and appeal, if you see, and it's good for you guys to get an appraisal report, open it up. If you guys don't have one, I can send you one. Dennis and Kendall could send you one. I'm sure Mike probably has a few. But look at these appraisal reports and try to see on the grid the things that are on the appraisal report, because those are factors that affect value. The design and appeal, the location, all this stuff.
Hey, Miguel, let's do one more. I want 1-4.
Hold on.
This is for Mark because he's been having issues selling this property. He's been doing opens and opens. I think it's priced well, but I want to get your opinion. I'm not going to tell you what you think it should be sold, so that way we can see if you're spot on.
Okay. What's the address?
14253 Southwest 152 Court.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Just right now, from looking at it, it's not in the best location. It's got a vape shop in front of it or something, right? No, sorry. Okay. So it's this one. Let me hold on. Okay, wait.
Oh, it's like I got to step up.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, 462, 445. Okay, and now somebody drew lines on the screen. All right, let me see this. Is it okay, so he's at for sale 425. Oh, so this is a C3. Now let's look for comps. 142.53 Southwest 152nd Court. Is it 152? 52nd Court and 142nd Terrace. So it's 142nd Terrace. Terrace. 142.53. Okay, so okay, so we're right here. Okay, so we are. What is it priced at?
I'll tell you right now. What do you say its value?
All right, hold on.
Oh, it's on there. You see it. 425. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 420. Hold on. Okay, so it's got 2155 square footage, but the actual square footage is about 1987 because it's got that one car garage. So this is a bigger house that was listed at 425 and sold at 415. And it's got a pool. His doesn't have a pool, and there's kind of similar condition, more or less. And this one, hey George, you did some yellow lines on the screen.
I think that's you, man.
No? All right.
That's fine. Leave it there.
All right. Let's see.
Special guest here, Miguel. Hold on. Machete, no veo cuchillo en la boca. Rick. Oh, you can't hear us.
All right. So no, I think it's a little bit slightly overpriced.
What would be the sweet spot?
$399.
$399. All right, I'll let them know. All right, I'll let them know, guys.
$399 or $400 around there. The problem is that you've got a bigger property that sold for $415. You've got, look, one here sold for $394, was listed for $410. This one is, you know, pavers. Look at the door. It's got marble inside. You know, this is and you know, he's got a 7,000 square foot lot. You've got a 8,500 square foot lot with a pool, sold for $394, and was listed for $410.
All right.
So no, I think it's a little bit overpriced. There's one at $415 that's a 4.3. So this is his competition. You have to look at that as well too. How many days? Hold on, let me check how many days on market he's at. This is in original condition. So, but it's a bigger property. Let's see, 425. He's had it on the market for 2 months. Yeah, he should have been at 399. They entertain multiple offers. Right now it's a buyer's market. You gotta price the properties competitive.
All right. Well, I'll leave it at that, guys. I wanted to keep this training less than an hour.
Okay.
Miguel, thank you for everything, guys. We had 25, 26, 27 people. I was way more than not that expected, but for Wednesday morning, that's awesome. I'm gonna record this. It's been recorded, and I'm gonna send you guys a recap of this all.
And if you guys have any questions, just email me or text me.
All right, guys, have a good one. Let's do this thing.